Spencer Freeman. I'm diagnosed with severe chronic necrotizing pancreatitis, ETOH. I spent 5 weeks in ICU in a coma in 2016, and another 5 or so weeks learning how to live again, walk, talk, eat, all those kinds of things. I had a trach, a feeding tube, a PICC line, you name it. I mean, I really had everything. I suffered from sepsis, suffered from MARDS, all the kind of classic things that chronically ill people do, as well as delirium. But no one ever talked to me or my family about delirium. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know that the thing I was experiencing had a name. It was only years later when I began to finally talk to my therapist about it after several years of goading. CBT, so cognitive behavioral therapy, and then dialectical behavior therapy, as well as exposure and EMDR. I was able to even address it and talk about it and acknowledge it. I thought I was going crazy. I thought there couldn't be an explanation for the fact that I time traveled, that I did things that were unmatchable. They were non-overlapping with what my reality was. So one either happened or didn't happen. But I was on all those medicines that caused the disassociation, ketamine, Dilaudid, Ativan, heavy sedation, propofol. But also my fever was incredibly high. My body was going through a lot. So I experienced some pretty wild stuff. It was only later that I was able to get treatment and therapy for that. As I mentioned earlier, my therapist came up with the idea for the beard. It helps me with the nightmares that I have, which I still have to this day. Probably about half the times I go to sleep, I have a nightmare from the coma, and I need something to help me with that. So I take SSRIs and benzos. I do talk therapy. I'm a part of recovery groups. But I have to really work at what's real and what's not real 5 years on. I have scars all over the back of this hand. They're not from IVs. They're from me trying to rip out IVs. So probably about once or twice a week, I wake up with blood all over my hands. Try to pull off a ventilator mask. So this stuff sticks with me. It stays with me. And it is with me all the time. I have hallucinations and intrusions. So whenever my pain gets bad or my nausea gets bad, I see and hear things that aren't real, or are real but occurred to me at another place and another time. So it's hugely impactful on my life. I used to practice law. I can't really do that anymore. I used to work long hours. Obviously not possible anymore. So I have to take a lot of medicine and go to therapy twice a week, as well as these support groups, just to sort of maintain. Because if I didn't, it would probably lead to me getting myself in a situation like I did before, health-wise, or me not seeing another way out of this. So I'm very, very fortunate to have support mechanisms like this, and like the talk therapy, and like the support groups, and a family that really understands that what I'm going through is very specific and very particular, and needs very specific and particular treatment.